My prediction is that we will see another Francis Ngannou situation in the UFC. And I think that this time, for some reason, there's going to be lawsuits. There's going to be a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of unprofessionalism from the Aspinalls, from the Aspinall camp. Because let me tell you something. They had a lot of problems with Ngannou. Ngannou didn't want to sign a new deal. And he was asking for, too much. He was asking for insurance for fighters. He was asking, which is not a bad thing, but come on now. And he was asking for boxing matches and whatever. But at least when it was time to fight, he came to the octagon and gave Cyril Gane a fight, and he won. But with Aspinall, what Aspinall did, and if you actually understand what happened there, if you are smart enough to see between the lines, to read between the lines and understand that this whole thing was a circus, this whole thing was planned out from the very beginning. And Dana knows it. And I'm sure Dana is, I don't think he was upset in the same way when Ngannou did all the stuff that he did compared to how upset he is today. Because if you watch the press conference, he was livid. He knew exactly what happened there. He knew what they were doing. They were trying to stick it to the UFC, and it was all premeditated from the very beginning. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't think we will ever see Aspinall in the octagon again. And maybe this might be a crazy take, but something tells me that Aspinall is going to get stripped of his title at some point. I don't think Aspinall will fight Gane again. Something tells me, I got a gut feeling, because if you actually watch the fight, Aspinall was getting cooked, and he's got like, how many fights? He's got like 3 fights left in his contract with this rematch included. So something big is about to happen. I don't think Dana is going to let this slide like this. I don't think Dana is going to let the Aspinall camp to play the whole UFC like this. I think at some point Dana will try to not pay him maybe pay-per-view points. Will try to not pay him his fair share. Will try to do something to mess up his fair share, right? And yeah, we are in for a whole lot of drama. We're in for an interesting, relationship between Dana White and Tom Aspinall. And I predict this is going to end very bad for Aspinall, because both him and his father especially, I've seen his last video where that he posted on his YouTube channel, where his father was commentating about the injury and everything, and they're both very, very arrogant. They both think they're untouchable. They both think they have this, I don't know, vibe about them, like like nothing can happen to them. And let me tell you something, when you mess up a pay-per-view like that, and if you mess around with a multi-billion dollar company, when you mess up the money, because that's what he did, forget about the rules, forget about the poke, he messed up the money. That was a pay-per-view that was bought by millions of people, and millions of people were upset because they wanted to see a fight. And that's not a good thing to do. If you get on Dana's bad side, that's an uphill battle from there. It's not gonna end well for you. And I think that Aspinall, you got 3 more fights on your contract, not 1. And Ngannou started talking smack when he got 1 fight left on his contract. You got 3 fights left on your contract. I don't understand why. What's going on? Why is his father so arrogant? In his video that they posted on their YouTube channel, he was talking like, the company doesn't care about the fighters because they only care about the shareholders and the profits and everything. That's crazy. Talking like that about the UFC is nuts. Don't talk like that, because your son is still under contract. Oh my God. I don't know what's going on with them, man. They feel untouchable for some reason. His father is so arrogant, so just, I don't know, his attitude about this whole thing is just weird to me. It's just strange to me. I did not see him upset. I did not see him sad. I did not see him just concerned for his son. His son was almost blinded fully. He was doing interviews, laughing, smirking, smiling, talking about the UFC, how the UFC is a big company. They only care about money and stuff like that. I mean, what are you doing? Before the UFC, your son was a failed boxer, a broke boxer. He didn't have money to put food on the table for his kids before the UFC. Now you talk like this about the UFC? Now the UFC is such a big, bad company that, takes advantage of fighters? You can't do that, man. You can't show loyalty, man. I understand, yeah, they had, the this problem with John Jones, but you know something? Khabib had the same problem. When Conor fought Eddie Alvarez, Khabib was the one who should have fought for the belt. Khabib sit on the sidelines. He understood what was going on. He understood the business. He shut up. And then when he had his opportunity to fight Conor, when he had his opportunity to touch gold, he did it. He didn't talk smack about the UFC. He understood exactly the game. And look at Khabib now, one of the richest UFC fighters of all time. The GOAT. Everybody loves him. All of his fighters are, Islam Makhachev, his cousin. They all have good ties with the UFC. What Aspinall did here is just one of the biggest errors in his life. That whole camp, the Aspinall camp, is done for in the UFC. Not really done for. That I don't think they'll ever get any privileges from Dana White. I don't think they'll ever have a good relationship with Dana White, because there's no coming back from this. You can't, when you mess up a pay-per-view, when you mess up the money, there's no coming back. You can do anything, you can talk anything, you can say anything. If you mess up the money, there's no coming back. And don't give me that stuff about, yeah, they're gonna rematch and they're gonna make more money. Yeah, but everybody was blaming the UFC. Right now, everybody is blaming Dana White for not changing the gloves, even though that wouldn't fix the problem. What about the back to the head shots? What about the low blows? What about the cage grabs? How are you gonna solve those? Are the gloves, if you make different gloves, are those gonna solve those problems as well? No, probably not. Most likely not. Of course not. So yeah, this is one of the biggest errors I've ever seen a fighter make. What, Aspinall, tell me, what were you thinking? Your career is done. Once you get on Dana's bedside, it's not gonna end up good for you and your career. You're gonna waste a lot of time. You're gonna miss out on a lot of money and a lot of opportunities. And yeah, this is what's gonna happen with Aspinall. Anyway, subscribe, guys. Tell me what you think about my take. Leave a comment and like the video or dislike the video if you didn't like it.